It's a new year, and the Panama City Beach condo market has changed over the past few years, but it still continues on. In this video, we will see how the changes in 2024 will carry over and how they will affect 2025, and what you should know before buying a condo in Panama City Beach in 2025. What's up, guys? Eric Leitten, your favorite real estate agent on the Emerald Coast. More than part-time gopher these days at What's Up Beach Vacation Rentals. Today, the video is titled Watch Before Buying a Condo in Panama City Beach in the year 2025. Of course, I've done this video since 2022, I believe. So there's been a lot leading up to this point in time. We have good analytics out now for 2024. That's definitely going to affect leading into 2025. So we're going to talk about a lot today. Okay, we're going to do a top level review of basically how we got to where we are now. As you probably all know, that mortgage rates have increased substantially since 2021. Inflation occurred due to supply shortages across the board, and inflation came. Federal funds rate had to be increased to a certain level, and that increased mortgages to the point where they are today, and they're more than double what they were. They're about 7%, and it was about 3%, a little bit below 3%, depending on the product back then. So things have changed quite a bit, and that kind of brings us to today in terms of top level. All right, one thing we discussed in previous videos was the increase in price of the condo association master policies. There has been a limited amount of providers of these policies in the state, and that has caused prices to increase substantially on condos ever since post-COVID. So we had probably like 2021 moving forward, prices have increased incredibly, sometimes doubling because of the lack of providers. It has really pushed prices up. The whole genesis of this provider shortage for condo master policies really stems from the abuse of assignment of benefits to unscrupulous contractors, and they would get in litigation with the insurance companies, and that would drag things out. It just made a very unfavorable environment for a lot of insurance companies. And the hurricane environment that we have here in Florida, we're susceptible to that hurricane risk. That really fosters this type of tug of war between contractors and insurance. Well, the local Florida state government here enacted some changes to how insurance companies and contractors litigate with each other, and it makes it a much more friendly environment for insurance companies. So many new entrants have come into the state recently, so that's a positive thing. In addition to the insurance crunch, Florida rolled out the new structural laws with SBD 4 in 2024, and that has a structural integrity reserve study. So now condos have to carry another layer of reserves for structural improvements over the years. It's a good thing. In addition, properties that are 25 years and older that are a certain height within a certain distance to the water also require a milestone inspection, which is a little bit more intensive. Now, this is a good thing, and you probably saw the news several years ago. There was a collapse in Surfside, Florida, of a condo that had a leak. There's a swimming pool on top of a parking garage, which is fairly common utilization of space for a condo. Collapse, it took part of the building with it, and unfortunately many lives were lost in that. So this SBD 4 structural law rollout for condominiums was put forth in effort to counteract that from happening again. So we had to deal with that. A lot of unknowns in 2024 with buildings gearing up for these new requirements. But now that time period's over. Everything is set forth, is set into place. Most of the buildings have had their CERS and have had to legally, by December 2024, have had to have their milestone inspections. So a lot is out in the open now, which is a good thing. Okay, so we have good news on both fronts with those two issues affecting the Florida condo market. With the insurance, that new tort reform, or the change of laws with how contractors and insurance companies litigate, it seriously has allowed many new entrants into the Florida market. There are several new insurance providers, not only doing the condo master policies, but also doing homeowners insurance, flood insurance, and everything like that. So just anecdotally, I have seen several condos that have shopped their policies and actually reduced HOA dues due to the fact that they've gotten a better insurance policy. And there's several people that have not seen increases in their current insurance policy. Obviously, they have risen in the past several years from where they were, but it's good to see that they aren't progressively increasing, that they've, reached the top, the peak of the pricing. So that's a good thing. We see some stabilization in that regard. And on the other coin with SBD4, the writing's on the wall. If a building had to do a bunch of structural work, there's a special assessment in place, and likely that's disclosed. So we're not guessing whether a building is structurally sound. The SIRS report and the milestone inspection, if required on a 25-year-old building, it should be all in there and part of your diligence when you're buying a condo. So that's a good thing. 2025 is going to be a more transparent year versus 2024. Things were not quite certain with these inspections. Okay, now I want to get into the Panama City Beach specific analytics for the year 2024. And for most of this, we're going to look at annual compounded metrics in terms of 2023 versus the aggregate data for 2023 versus the aggregate data for 2024. And then we could kind of compare and contrast the two and see where the current market is for the year 2025. So I made this slide here I'm going to bring up, and we'll discuss kind of the specific metrics here. Looking at Panama City Beach, we see the supply of inventory increased by 17.6% over the course of the year. And the supply is calculated by the amount of marketed listings divided by the amount that have actually been sold. Inventory is calculated in months. So you can see here we went from 7.7 months in 2023 to a little over 9 months in 2024. Anything over 6 months is considered a buyer's market. So we are tilting deeper into that buyer's market. It's a good thing for people looking to buy. For those looking to sell, it's a bit of a more difficult market. The median sales price gives you an idea of the sales mix, what price points are selling most frequently. It gives you some insight into the general price movement for the year, but remember, real estate is priced comparatively by subjects within close proximity to one another. There's some other metrics that will tell us how much sellers came off of their list price. This just gives you a general idea of what people are buying, and it may give you some insight a little bit into kind of the price, but that median price is really the sweet spot for what's selling in the market. The next area that we have here is the average and median days on market, how long it takes to sell a property. So in PCB, we saw these metrics increase considerably in 2024, 40% to 60% here. So moving into the juicier details on this next slide. So sales have decreased overall by 17.5% in 2024 compared to 2023. Active listings are up by 2% in 2024, but new listings have dropped by 10%. So we're seeing properties stay on the market longer, and there are less new listings coming on the market. And we've actually saw inventory drop a little bit, like during the summer, which is a normal seasonal thing. But I think there's less new listings coming on, and I think there's some fall off of some unrealistic expectations of sellers that were listing their properties too high and their listings have expired and some things like that. There's definitely a class of listings in that category that are just not with the current market. So keep that in mind if you're looking at properties right now. So this is one of my favorite metrics. It gives you a list to price ratio, or the sold price divided by what the listing price is. So it gives you a ratio of what people are negotiating off the list price. So the average for 2024 was a 7.5% discount. It's larger than it has been in the past. So that's a pretty good negotiation point. I could say that that's in line with my personal experience. All right, to summarize all of those metrics, we're deeper into a buyer's market. There are more listings, more inventory that's sitting much longer, and that kind of creates more consternation to those sellers. They're having a harder time sell the property and become more negotiable over time. And that's what we're seeing with that 7.5% discount that buyers on average are negotiating off of the purchase price. So that's a good thing. And we're in deep waters. We have 9 months of inventory. That's 3 months over the kind of median market, deeper into that buyer's market. So more discounts are to be had this year. There's more inventory in places that you wouldn't think of seeing inventory in. especially in like 2021, there were buildings that didn't even have listings available at specific times. Now, basically every building has at least one or two listings on the beach, even in those more desirable buildings. So the main challenge in 2025 is going to be affordability. And this has been the case in 2024 as well. And especially for those that are going about maximally leveraging themselves for the property that they acquire. I've dealt with a lot of people that have had a nest egg stored and they decided to go after reasonable property with cash. If you're in a position to do that, Panama City Beach is a great value. It's one of the most affordable places in coastal markets in all of the state of Florida. There's many condos. I spoke in the past about condos being ideal for absentee ownership. You have an association that's covering all the exterior. You're in a heavily fortified building, especially in new construction. So we've had several people do that in the past year, and you're avoiding that interest rate exposure completely. And a lot of these folks are renting their property out to further counteract the cost of ownership, and those folks are in really good position. Folks that me being one of them, I have two condos. One condo has a higher interest rate, and yeah, it's a little bit tight, but over time, real estate tends to age well in terms of getting higher rates and on your rent, and then also good appreciation. I did a video not too long ago about the new coming attractions to Panama City Beach, and it speaks volumes to me that these large commercial interests, you have Top Golf, Dolly Parton, Tootsie's, they're all expanding and putting a lot of money in Panama City Beach. And these projects are in process. They're in construction as we speak. So I think these large, very intelligent commercial interests see promise in Panama City Beach and the increase in tourism over time in a already mature, well-structured market. I think that bodes well for Panama City Beach and the tourism destination as far as the strength over time. I think 2025 is going to be right there with 2024 and be a pretty good year overall. Thanks for watching my video. Again, it's Eric Leitten. Emerald Coast Abode is my brand. It's the channel's name and also my real estate brand. And What's Up Beach Vacation Rentals, that's me and Donna. We help people manage their property. Definitely helped a lot of people off this channel. Very grateful for the partnership and support to all of you clients out there that are watching. And just to kind of reintroduce myself, I'm an open door. I'm primarily a buyer's agent working in the resort environment. Panama City Beach is really my focal point. I go all the way out to Destin. I know that market well. Been out there quite a bit in my career. But we really have knowledge of this resort, and coupled with the vacation rental market, adds a good 1-2 punch. So if you are contemplating getting to the beach, whether it's some retirement reconnaissance, you're looking to maybe get that place where you can enjoy away from the harsh winter. I personally am from Buffalo, New York, and luckily ended up here, but I know about the winter. And if you're looking to spend part of your year here and rent it out, or you're just looking for a good vacation place for your family, Panama City Beach is a good place to start and get into the market. I think it's a good entry point now, and there are a lot of options available to you. The best way to reach out to me is shoot me an email. It's in the description below, eric@emeraldcoastabode.com. Shoot me an email. Let's set up a time to chat, and we could go over the details about what you're looking for, what kind of brought you to look at Panama City Beach, or even watch some of my videos on this channel. If you enjoyed this content, please smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a great day.